Lamar MVP?
Look, if he had not won one or maybe two yet, and especially last year, like if he didn't have an MVP, he'd probably be the front runner. I think there's a good argument for that. But, you know, narratives play a role. I think he should still be in it. I think Josh should be the favorite. But Lamar is in it because, in large part, they got two big games left, you know, Pittsburgh and Houston. If Lamar is sensational in those games and they win, I'm not saying he can surpass Josh unless Josh has to, like, really struggle, and they got three easy games.
Well, Patriots twice.
What if Josh just loses one of those games and Lamar ends up, you know what I mean, they with one more loss than 5 losses to 4 losses?
He's in the hunt. I mean, like I said, I think Josh should be the favorite. The narrative's going to be a factor. But if he leaves any room for, you know, somebody to slide in there, I mean, his numbers are staggering.
If you lose to the Patriots, Jets, or the Patriots again, that loss will feel like 2 losses for Josh. It's not going to be like, you know.
I mean, Lamar lost to the
bad.
Raiders and the Browns.
A long time ago, recency bias.
Okay. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, no, I mean, he should still be alive, but he's not going to win it. You just laid it out there. But for me, it's not only who Josh is doing this against. Like, he checked that Patrick Mahomes box. He got that win against the Chiefs.
Checks it every year.
He does.
Well, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
But the way he's playing and how he played in that game, and then even though the 49ers are a lowly team this year, but the way he played in that game.
National TV.
Exactly. And then the way he just played against the Rams, against the Lions, like there's just so many moments that you got to have to win that MVP. It's just going to be hard. Lamar can have the best statistical year that he's ever had, and he's not going to win.
So here's the thing. QB wins giveth, and QB wins taketh away.
There it goes.
Lamar probably shouldn't have been the MVP last year.
No, somebody.
It just was no. It was almost like somebody.
So here's the thing: like the tiebreaker for Lamar was QB wins. I think Christian McCaffrey had the best year, and I think statistically the best quarterback season last year was Dak. And Purdy was in the argument, but I had McCaffrey out of Purdy, so it's kind of disqualifying. But for Lamar, it was, he's been really good, and the team's awesome.
Yeah.
Josh has been, to me, I think both guys, Lamar this year and Josh this year, have been much better than Lamar last year. You're right? But Josh's team's 11-3. And this was the first year in a while they weren't expected to be awesome. And this, like, the narrative train is so far down the tracks that, and I don't know if we can show it again quickly, Hubs, like, Josh had the game Jared Goff had this week, last week, and it helped him. And when Goff has it, it's like, well, the MVP's over. You know what I mean? And so, like, they score 40 in a loss, have half a dozen-ish touchdowns, amazing passer rating, 500 total yards for Goff.
Yeah.
And people are like, we're saying, can Lamar even be alive? Not because it's between Goff and Allen, but because Allen's run away with it.
Okay, but that's absurd. Was actually leading the Buffalo Bills to like an epic comeback, whereas that's not what was happening with Goff. Okay, like Goff was not doing that with the Lions. Yeah, that he put up those numbers and the game got close to the end, but it was not really like they were making a comeback. That was a completely different. Like Josh Allen was literally leading a comeback, which is what made it kind of so special and seemingly historic. So it's just a different level to that entirely. But to focus on Lamar Jackson, this is why I keep saying that the MVP means so little to me, because it is so narrative. It's not statistics. You don't just compare statistics, because that's what a lot of Lamar Jackson fans keep doing. They just want to keep showing the statistics, and it's just not how it works. It's situational. It's who you be. It's your record. It's the narrative. I mean, and I agree that Josh Allen has, if Lamar Jackson didn't win any MVP yet, yes, it would probably be him and Allen side by side. And they would probably give it to, I don't know who they'd give it to, but probably the team that has the better record, especially if the Bills end up with the number 1 seed or so. And again, it also depends on, do the Ravens even win the division? the Ravens don't even win their own division, like it just becomes a harder sell. So again, it's a narrative. This is 100% a narrative. And yeah, the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen's the only team to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They were undefeated. That alone, from a narrative standpoint, is huge. And it's bigger than a head-to-head matchup. A head-to-head matchup between the two of them, you just chalk up to just like, who cares? And if you're a Ravens fan, you can't say, well, that matters, because it doesn't. Because under that logic, then, Gardner Minshew is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. And so is Jameis Winston. And no one believes that. That's why head-to-head matchups really don't mean much. Except for when you're talking about, unfortunately, going up against a team like the Kansas City Chiefs team as a whole, plus Patrick Mahomes. Because they are the reigning champions and they're the dynasty, and it just has more weight to it. No one's really using a head-to-head matchup. They are doing it more for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens because it's within within the division, so it matters more. But no one's like head-to-head Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, what's their record? They don't really do that. They don't do that at all. Unless they're playing each other, then they'll have it, but it's not happened regularly. They're not constantly comparing those stats. And again, I think what Lamar Jackson is doing is amazing and is awesome and is great for, his own growth and development. And I'm not going to take sides and be like, oh, he shouldn't have won the MVP last year. Because again, I actually really fundamentally do not care. Because it's just all narrative. I understand why Baltimore Ravens fans think that Lamar Jackson should be the MVP, but the reality is that this season it really just doesn't feel like it. It just doesn't. Especially when you put together some of those bad losses, like the Browns and the Raiders. When you see how some of these games unfolded, it's a tough one. It's definitely a tough one. I think if Lamar Jackson beat the Chiefs week 1, then it would probably maybe feel like a little bit better. And they were leading their division. Because then you're now talking about 10-4, 11-3. And now you look at these stats, it would be interesting. I still think the narrative would be on Josh Allen's side. 1, because he hasn't won the MVP once. And we know you get voter fatigue. And 2, a lot of people did not expect the Buffalo Bills to be as good as they are right now. In fact, you had a lot of people picking the Jets to win the division and whatnot. And many people but Nick Wright, essentially, were saying that the Baltimore Ravens were going to be right back where they were last year. Let's go, AFC Championship redemption. And now, technically, they've been underperforming. Because that's also the thing, too. Technically, the Baltimore Ravens are underperforming, whereas the Buffalo Bills are overperforming. And that's makes you the most valuable player. Right? You are literally elevating your team to a way that people did not think was possible. And I'm not saying that Lamar Jackson deserves blame for the underperformance of the Ravens. I'm on the record saying this 10,000 times. I blame coaching and roster, maybe. So again, I'm not blaming Lamar. But this is why this type of conversation always annoys me, because we're trying to figure out, MVP, who's better. And then it's like, You have Baltimore Ravens fans who want to bring down Josh Allen, and then you have Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen fans wanting to pull down Lamar Jackson. And, again, I'm not trying to have a kumbaya moment. Let's all hold hands and sing and dance and eat, s'mores together. But it's just like, it's an unnecessary conversation at this point. And I don't know what the ultimate objective is. Because I know Baltimore Ravens fans 1,000% believe that Lamar Jackson should be the MVP. And that Lamar Jackson is better than Josh Allen. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen fans 100% believe that they are better than Lamar Jackson. That Josh Allen's better than Lamar Jackson. But I think where both fans can come together is that Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are better than Patrick Mahomes right now. And that's very obvious. Very obvious. And they're more resilient and can do more with less. That's very obvious. Again, even Colin Cowherd and John Middlecoff talked about that. That Patrick Mahomes right now may be like the third or fourth best quarterback in the NFL. And Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen have been chasing Patrick Mahomes because of obviously all the rings and the early success that he's had. And he deserves to be chased when you have that level of success and are as great as Patrick Mahomes. But both these quarterbacks have not only caught him, but surpassed him. And now the next step is just to obviously win a ring. You do that. If Lamar Jackson wins the ring, Josh Allen wins the ring this season, all offseason, all going into next season, it'll be, these are the better quarterbacks. Is Patrick Mahomes' reign over? Can Lamar Jackson surpass Patrick Mahomes as the GOAT? Can Josh Allen? That's what the conversations turn into. Unfortunately, because it's a team sport, so it's not fair to put that all, because the conversation should already be had regardless whether they win a ring or not. That's why I'd love to see an AFC championship game between these two teams. Get something new in there. A new matchup, a new duel. But yeah, these numbers are awesome, and it is a shame. That's why I'm not a quarterback wins and losses guy. But at the same time, this is how the award has consistently been. It's always been, top 2 team in the NFL, at least in the conference. And that's not where the Ravens are right now. So it's going to be interesting. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson? Do you think he's the MVP? What do you think about that win? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.